Wow. 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. I should be live on all platforms. It is Tuesday, January 28th, AD 2025. Also live on punchy.tv/Hake. So cool. I have a lot to plow through. We shall have the mildly attractive question. I thought of Joel Friday TV. I thought of Punchy TV with some of this content that I came across. Because, you know, makeup or no makeup, Joel Friday months ago, maybe a year ago, talked about this person, or talked about people in general who, they don't look right with too much makeup, you know? So I'm going to get to that. There's some woman who's kind of hating on, thinks maybe too well of herself, or tries to anyway. Hating on, I don't like that term, expressing hatred and disgust toward a man, calling herself, I'm way out of your league. And I don't know if she's trying to convince herself or what, but it reminds me of what JLP says, what you do to others, you're doing to yourself. Because probably she's miserable within herself. This is the Hake report, okay? It is not the Hakf report. I shouldn't laugh at that. It is not the, well, let me prove it to you. The Hake report. It's not Hakf, even though I'm covering up the E. All right, we're looking at the beautiful clouds. I do actually have some stuff to cover, actually. I said actually twice. I need that inner stillness, Lin Yin Chin. These phony churches kissing up, pardon me, I'm touching the mic, it's not good. These phony churches kissing up to the fake idea of, giving sanctuary to these poor, huddled illegals who may not have proper documentation. Have mercy. No more Happy Jacks for the criminal hiders. Criminal alien hiders. Many cases, these people have been deported already, and if they crossed the border again, having been deported, I heard that even according to the phony laws of today, that's a felony. And I call them phony laws because they're ridiculous, you know? So your super chats, it's so bad. It was so bad. Oof. I am remiss. I did not read one super chat. Maybe you guys liked it, but I didn't. I don't really like to do that I don't like to be remiss, you know? I thought it was Hake news. We'll see how loud this comes in, okay? So anyway, guys, let's just get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake report. The Hake report. La la la.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's the Hake report. The Hake report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake report. The Hake report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake report. The Hake report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I have a nice normal shirt on. Sweet. Nice. Do get your swag. Oh, man. Do get your swag if you so please. I encourage it. Punchy's coffee. It looks great. It smells even better. And it tastes fine. Mmm. Nice. Punchy's coffee. In all things in moderation, but get yours. JesseLeePeterson.shop. That's the direct link to find the Punchy's coffee, the t-shirts, the books, the other swag, mugs. Rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man Bond mug. I think it's even more stylish than this one. Pardon me. Okay. Okay. Let's see how we can do this. So, stuff to get to. Hey! Oh, yeah. Look at this. So this is the Hake Report website. You guys are commenting that I'm showing you my Google Doc. Look, you can watch on YouTube, D Live, Rumble, Facebook, X, punchy.tv/Hake, and other places. More places that I didn't list. JLP Live app, TalkStream Live. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to take off from my post for today. You can watch on Rumble, the Hake Report Rumble. So that's the morning updates were Trump banning the trans, quote-unquote, troops. That's cool. I like it. Pete Hegseth supporting Trump in reinstating the vaccine refrainers and other mess going on in the DEI military world. It's so sick. I want to understand white rage. So said a grown adult male, sort of fat, but shout out to the fat people. Liberal, lame-o, guy who was a general under Trump the first term. Immigration raids, 2,000 arrests in 2 days. Nice. Like 2-3 times a week, they're going to be doing raids. That's cool. RFK confirmation hearings are going to be happening this week, I hear. And the public health phonies. I realized that you really just can't trust the media. You know, you can't. And I even knowing that, I still fall for it sometimes. So, just FYI. And it's even me knowing it, I've fallen for it many a time. And I feel like RFK might be one of those times. Because the way they present him, whatever. I wanted to get to this. I mentioned it yesterday. Just a brief point. This was in Commie Nonsense Network morning updates yesterday. Okay, your phone doesn't make for the best alarm clock. They say this is CNN Health. Okay, very fake news health. Article out the other day by Madeline Holcomb. Switching out your phone for a dedicated alarm clock might help you get a better sleep, according to experts. So they claim. Phones have replaced many things: computers, calculators, cameras, and maps. Yeah, this thing is so handy for taking pictures. I love it. Keeping the phone in another room will likely decrease the opportunity for distraction from sleep. Very good point, doctor. It doesn't take a doctor to know this. Shalini Paruthi, sleep medicine attending physician at John J. Cochran Veterans Hospital in St. Louis, adjunct professor at St. Louis University School of Medicine. And also decrease the opportunity for sleep procrastination. I know I should be going to sleep, but let me just scroll a little bit more. Ridiculous. I know that it's common sense. It shouldn't take... And what is this, a woman? I don't want to spend too much time, but we are interested in what these people look like. We being Hake. Sleep medicine. Hey, American Academy of Sleep Medicine, blah, blah, blah. Board chair. A woman. Mildly attractive. She looks well rested. I respect it. Respect women. Nice. Okay. But let me get back to this point. That's about it. A phone by your bed could mean easy access to scroll at night, easy snooze button in the morning. You're not supposed to snooze. You're supposed to just get up, I think. Some people don't like that blaring alarm clock. When I used an alarm clock, I used Jackie and Andy and other Chinese soft, nice music. Because if you have music on your phone, you can set an alarm to play a song. You just pick a song. And I just picked a song. I don't recognize any of the titles because the titles are all messed up. But it's another idea. Or you could just have discipline. They say put it in a whole other room. Some people say that the Wi-Fi is bad for you. But I think these more practical issues are much more pertinent and have a bigger effect, in my opinion. Just the physical, mental, spiritual distractions that they offer. Hey, look, there's a Brandon. Maybe that's a man. REM, rapid eye movement sleep. That's some valuable sleep over there. Creative sleeping. Oh, man. I just wanted to point that out. Just a nice little tip. Sometimes I'll put my phone on the desk or a dresser or whatever, and then, lay out on the floor, and it works. Your phone disrupts your sleep. Nice. Okay, so that's just a quick point that I wanted to touch on which I wanted to touch. Nice. So here's the news on the illegal church sanctuaries. Do you support family separation? Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Do you support family separation? Asked former Hake guest Cam Higbee, short for Cameron. Do you support family separation? I said yes. 50% said yes. 1.2 thousand votes. 33% said no. 17, not sure. And I said, dude, I knew guys who left their families to come here and make money for a few years. I've told you guys this story, right? And it turns into 15 years, overstayed visas, crossing the border illegally, pretending like you don't speak English so that the Border Patrol doesn't think that you know English, so you're just a scammer who's going to, exploit our work stuff, Just act like you're a tourist and don't answer their English questions. Allegedly selling drugs in addition to doing the carpentry stuff. Allegedly. Or whatever, manual labor. Drinking and driving, stealing from the companies and customers. They separate families by coming here. This phony... Trump's separating children from their families. It's not even a real family. It's a family is a married father and mother, right? With children. With their children, by the way. And they shouldn't be coming here illegally either. Yeah, separate them till we can figure out what the HE double toothpicks is going on. I'm going to like my own comment. Cam said that's a very based answer. Completely based take. Thank you. So that's that. But the churches, so-called, I saw this on I should open the archive. In the Wall Street Journal, far-left rhino outlet Wall Street Journal. Will I ever forgive them for going after PewDiePie and trying to pretend like he's Hitler sympathizer? The far-left rhino outlet Wall Street Journal. Trump immigration orders fracture the church sanctuary movement. Article out the 24th of January, a few days ago. Across the United States, some pastors are standing firm while others are retreating. Standing firm. As ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, gains new access to so-called sacred spaces. Article by Scott Calvert, Chris Mark, Chris with a K, and Joe Barrett. Look at this person. Look at this dude. There's this person who's dressed in one of those collar things that some of those more liturgical supposed churches, Catholics, Episcopalians, and others wear. That white collar thing. Weird thing. And he has, sort of sleeve tattoo. It's on one arm, one other tattoo on another, and Looks about my age, plus or minus 10 years or 15 years. The Reverend Michael Wolf, Woolf. I knew a Wolf. It's a cool last name, but I didn't know him to have double L. I wonder if he's Jewish, though, because a lot of wolves, I knew the wolf that I knew was a Jewish guy. We did a cabinetry for him in his old folks' home. But look at that. Okay, so it's a beautiful sanctuary, beautiful little building, sort of low ceiling, but with the beams and interior wooden ceiling, nice sort of arched decorative glass window things, and it's nice. I like the off-white or whatever color, but it has wood floors, okay? And then it has all these cots for the illegals, in which the illegals would sleep, I guess. So these people are supporting the illegals, and they're pretending to be Christians. In their minds, they're Christians. Look at it, all dark, ice, getting ready to raid. And they can go, the ice can now go into the churches and dig you out. Look at this beautiful church, and then it has do justice, love mercy, walk humbly. It's a nice little reference to a Bible verse, but it's in the radical homosexual, gay, transgender agenda rainbow colors. Makes me think, I wonder if is that Lake Avenue? Oh no, Lake Street. I thought that this was Pasadena for a second, but then wait, Pasadena doesn't really snow, or unless that's ashes on the ground from the Eaton fire. Oh, look, Black Lives Matter next to theirs. What a shame, huh? What a beautiful church. But it's not even a whitewashed tomb because it's ugly even on the outside. They put the ugly stuff on the outside with the gay agenda flag thing. All are welcome. Please join us. Sermon, furious dancing. So that's the type of churches, so-called, that are supporting these illegals in the wrong, being here when they shouldn't be here. It's another fancy church, very nice. I don't know what the point of that one is, but there's other articles. The point of me showing these articles is not to read them at all, really. I just want to show the pictures. NPR, far left NPR has an article out the other day, a day or two later. January 26th, churches have a long history for being safe havens for immigrants and others. Far left National Public Radio. And look at this gal, immigration rights activist Elvira Arellano of Mexico, defied a deportation order and took sanctuary for months in an apartment above some Methodist church. Methodist is what Hillary supposedly is. A bunch of them are liberals. A new Trump administration policy no longer regards churches as sensitive areas where authorities should not pursue people in the country illegally. Right on. This is from 2007, this gal. Mildly attractive illegal. She was in 2007, shout out, but you don't belong here. It's not right. Whatever happened to respecting the law of the land? It's in the Bible, something to that effect. Here's other purported illegals from 2017. Look at this mother with a sort of mother or grandmother with a purportedly with a sort of concerned look on her face, and then these children who don't look necessarily happy. Positive mind, positive vibes, positive life, I guess this little girl's sweatshirt says. DC. Jeanette Vizguerra, who came to the U.S. without immigration documents, meaning she came here illegally, walks with two of her children, purportedly, as they seek sanctuary at First Unitarian Church in Denver, Colorado. Working in the U.S. for some 20 years. Moved into a room in the basement of the church as she faced immediate deportation. Continues to work as an activist in the United States. Activists. I shake my head. There's more of these people, I think. if I recall correctly. Look at this. These beautiful churches with ugly, fake love souls. Members of the new Sanctuary Coalition hold a vigil and procession for Aura Hernandez, a mother from Guatemala, taking sanctuary. Mothers. Single mothers, by the way, purportedly don't know about the father or husband or lack thereof situation, children's father situation. She was granted status to stay in the United States in 2022. That would have been under Biden, putting her on a path to citizenship. Isn't that disgusting? These people become citizens. And they don't love the country. They feel grateful to the people who spoiled them for doing wrong, rewarded their wrong behavior. It's not good. Let's see if there's anything else, any cool pictures in here. New York Daily News AP article, Trump won't ban immigration arrests at churches. Nice. New York City clergy weighing how to resist. They call them faith leaders. That's a misnomer. It's a very credulous word for a so-called journalist to use, right? Far left New York Daily News. Here's a person who purportedly, I don't know, praying or something. And this purportedly white man, Reverend thing. Reverend W.J. Mark Knutson, Knutson, listens as Juan Francisco Aguirre-Velasquez. He gives an interview at some Lutheran church. Come on, Lutherans, you're supposed to be better than this, but it's Portland. Came from El Salvador, sought sanctuary in the church to avoid deportation in 2014 under Obama, because Obama supported the illegals coming here. Yeah, he deported many, they say. He turned many around at the border and changed the definition of deportation, they say. But he also protected the illegals, kept them here. He did DACA. He tried to do DAPA, Deferred Action for Parents of So-Called Americans. Reverend Robin Hinka embraces Reverend Francis Schaefer. He's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. We're looking at the back of this guy's head. United Methodist clergyman, unless I'm mixing him up with somebody else. I wish I could be, because it's a common name. Look at this pink Christian yarmulke thing. If you're listening to the audio podcast, I'm reacting to pictures of these degenerate so-called Christians. U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops lamenting the policy change. Told you the Catholics are evil. Shout out. Mostly, anyway. What a mess, huh? What a mess. So that's your news on these illegal church sanctuaries and family separation. What a mess. Sick. Meanwhile, they're being all anti-white. Let me show you a couple of different things. But times are changing. A change is going to come. Cernovich posted this the other week, a few weeks ago, maybe. Why aren't South African... Oh, come on. Okay. Farmers, why aren't they who are legitimate political refugees who face race-based discrimination and torture and murder and kidnapping and all that stuff, brought into the United States via NGOs like Catholic Charities and HIAS? Somebody asked in his quote, and what he quote tweeted, why is it so hard for Europeans or those of European heritage in the Anglosphere to come legally to America? Because these are fake people grandstanding for the media, for their own emotions and ego. And that's that. That's that. Matt Gaetz said, we must have day one pardons for J6 defendants who were not violent. Well, congrats, Matt Gaetz. We got them who were violent too, I think. These people have suffered long enough. Trump is not for us whites. Give me a break. you people, some of you guys. This was the tip. I got a Rumble rant from whatever his name was. WT1. Well, let me open this. Well, I don't want to show his name necessarily. But he says, what say you about this East Texas teacher no longer employed after quote-unquote racially insensitive social media statements? And they don't even go into what she actually even said. I tried to dig in. I couldn't find anything. Let's see if this pulls up. If not, I have it right here. East Texas teacher no longer employed. Sorry, my website's a little bit illegible. After racially, if you highlight, it might be easier to read. Little pro tip for the boomers. East Texas teacher no longer employed after racially insensitive social media statements resurface. She was like 23, right? She's 22. A lot of teachers are just right out of college, 22, 23 years old. I guess that's what this gal is. Because I think it was from 5 years ago when she was 17. Or maybe more than 5 years ago. Oh no, 2015, 10 years ago. So she's 27 years old roughly. If this is a recent article. East Texas teacher, according to CBS, local news. No longer employed after racially insensitive social media statements resurface. I have pictures. I can find you pictures of her too, I think. Because of this incident, the school is providing additional training for staff and creating opportunities for community dialogue. Oh, but her dialogue or her monologue, whatever, as a 17-year-old, not welcome. So much for respect. There's no respect. Gladewater, Texas, ISD teacher. I think school district, something like that. No longer works for the school district after racially insensitive social media posts resurfaced from when she was a student at 17 years old. Give me a break. Stupid. Talk about a lynch mob. Superintendent Ray Ann Patty said that this young lady named Holly, Hollie, theft teller. Don't look her up. Don't slide in the DMs. She's gone private on her IG and Twitter. But when I searched this name, I'm going to look up both of these names. Here's the superintendent's name. Let's see if we can find this person. Let's see. That doesn't help. I doubt there's going to be a picture either. I like to look at the pictures, okay? Sue me. And then I'll also look up Holly theft teller. Because when I searched it on far left Google, I found different, here's her IG. Looks like just like a pretty young white woman, maybe probably, who knows, maybe even part liberal, but she doesn't seem that liberal. See? I don't know if that's her natural hair color, but it's this gal. Posts on X are protected. Oh, she has a bunch of followers now, maybe all of a sudden. Joined in 2013 as a 15-year-old from Gilmer, Texas. Look, they went after her. Meanwhile, like libs of TikTok and others are exposing all these radical LGBTIQ racism teaching teachers. Oh, racism. If you look at her, this is a purported tweet or post on X that she either retweeted or posted herself, or I don't know. But according to Google, it says, I don't remember Democrats calling for gun control and red flag laws after Trump was shot. Did I miss that? And a whole bunch of whatever. Interesting. So she might be like a normal conservative, somewhat decent person, and they got rid of her because of something she said that they don't even go into in 2017. And the evil anti-racism, which is anti-white lynch mob, says stuff like this. This is what the superintendent woman said. Oh, let's see if I found any pictures of the woman. Yeah, oh, Lord. She seems like she should know better. This is Ray Ann Patty. Doesn't she look like, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, don't email her. You're not going to do any good emailing her or harassing her or bothering her. I'm talking about the female superintendent who gave false credence, saying these statements, which were perceived as racially insensitive, understandably caused concern. Oh, you're so understanding. How about being understanding toward a once 17-year-old girl who's now a decent, upstanding teacher, maybe? Female teacher notwithstanding. Ms. Teftteller has given us permission to share this context to promote transparency and encourage understanding. She's expressed deep regret for her past actions, taken responsibility, and acknowledged the impact these statements have had. What a mess. And she still doesn't get her job. The school district is committed to fostering an inclusive and respectful environment, which is a lie. Because you're not including this white woman, young lady, who's acted a little too honest as a 17-year-old. Too white, too strong. Situation is a reminder to continue education and dialogue. You just cut off dialogue, liar. Sorry. On issues of equity and inclusion. What a sick woman. What a sick school district. Not surprising, though. School is providing additional training for staff, creating opportunities for community dialogue. Only one-sided dialogue. White, which is normal, viewpoints not allowed. Listening closely to the voices of those impacted. Nobody was impacted, silly dude, person, woman. So those are my thoughts. WRT, thanks, man. What say you? I say that's... Cover your ears, kids. Stupid. But I'm sure she'll be fine. We wish her well. And the school is, we pray for those students. I want to read a few super chats before I get to calls, because I was remiss in not getting to them. Linya and Shin accused me of doing it on purpose. Suffix, he states, adjectives and adverbs all flow like diarrhea. It's not good. Pardon the D word. Like number 3. Just noises. Just noise of hype to decorate the not a point that mouth breathers constantly try to make as they fake communication. The last caller on JLP, as an example, yesterday, makes you and Nick look solid/still in contrast. Well, thank you, Lin Yin-chin. Lord Good Hair, funnest is not a word. Stop your vile mouth breather misuse of suffix. Oh, so more fun? Funner or more fun? Let's find out. Funner technically exists as a comparative form of fun. The grammatically correct and widely accepted phrase is more fun. Oh, all right. I'll accept it. The phrase most fun cannot be reduced to funnest, as that isn't a word, says he. Suffix and adjectives must not be spammed. That's child abuse for the children. We'll learn it. Fair point, Lin Yin-chin. I'm getting a scowl and a shaking of the head and a shrugging from Bill the engineer. Circle Earth, not circular, as mouth breathers call it. Oh, man. Hold on. Complicated business. I'm not actually this clumsy, guys. Via their wrong use of suffix to make so-called circular. Circle is a shape. Lar is redundant. Emphasis on the shape. Same as ical in spherical. Sphere Earth. Circular sphere. Sorry. Lin Yin-chin. Not sorry, but forgive me. They have ruined the language with redundancy. I know, it's kind of like the Mexicans, how they say, no tengo nada. I don't have nothing. You just did a double negative. If you don't have nothing, then you do have something. But the Spanish speakers keep saying it mathematically incorrect, but it's grammatically correct. Terrible. destructive language, that Spanish. And English, too, now. We wish those Europeans well. And us Americans. And Central and South Americans. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. I haven't even checked the chat. Let me just double check that everything is going through okay. Why am I seeing... Oh, okay. I'm looking at the wrong chat. What's up, Terry? What's up? I shouldn't be shouting you guys. What's up, guys? Popcorn, hang tight, okay? Popcorn, I'm coming for you. But I want to get to a call or two, guys. Okay, is that okay with you? Joe from Phoenix, Arizona, on the line here. How you doing, Joe?
Good morning, James. I'm back in the country.
Oh, sweet. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. All right. I see I haven't missed much. The same old thing over and over again, the blacks this, the whites that with you guys.
What?
Over and over and over again. Anyway, did you see that Trump is already harassing Jerome Powell to lower interest rates?
No, I didn't see that.
And even more interesting, and I hope you keep an eye on this, Trump is trying to petition Congress already to let the president have a say.
Jerome Powell being the chairman of the Fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trump is trying to petition Congress to give the president the power to raise or lower rates, not the Federal Reserve.
Interesting.
So all this time I've been trying to tell you, keep an eye on that and all the other nonsense. Now it's coming to fruition.
Which is worse, the Fed controlling interest rates or the president?
Well, I'm no fan of the Fed.
Right.
But letting the president do it brings a whole slew of other problems. No matter who's in office, no matter who you like or dislike.
Such as?
Well, it's going to be self-serving. If they think the economy is flagging, they're going to be prone to cut rates. If they think the economy is overheating, they're going to be prone to raise rates. It's going to be all self-serving for their own interests and not what's best for the actual country or the future.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. You kidding me? I think that's why Trump is trying to do this.
You don't think Trump loves the country? You don't think Trump wants the best for the country?
We're not going to agree on Trump.
Is that a no?
Of course, I think he's just an absolute criminal.
A criminal?
Yep.
I don't think he's but you didn't answer my question whether he wants what's best for the country. Whether he's a criminal or not is not what I asked you.
He wants what's best for Trump. That's what I believe. Not what's best for the country.
Oh, well, how do you arrive at that conclusion?
I think you look at his actions. I think that's abundantly clear.
Which actions has he taken that indicate he cares about himself and not the country?
I think Exhibit A would be the insurrection.
Black Lives Matter?
Very funny, James.
Black Lives Matter was not funny. That was a serious... Black Lives Matter repeatedly insurrected around the country under Obama and under Trump.
I'm not a fan of BLM either, so I'm not going to get pulled into that conversation.
Was that an insurrection?
It was rioting. It was violence, absolutely. I don't know if it was an insurrection or not.
I would put insurrection on that. Would I be wrong to put insurrection on that?
I don't think it matters one way or the other.
No, but would I be wrong to put insurrection on that?
I have to look up the actual definition of insurrection.
They burned down police precincts, tried to burn down courthouses, tried to lock police in the courthouses and burn them down, and destroyed. So all of a sudden you have to be all technical with insurrection, but you throw around the word insurrection on the mostly peaceful protest of people who wanted to establish election integrity in the country.
Still with your spin.
But you're
Unbelievable.
spinning
Okay.
Trump. You're spinning like Trump doesn't love the country because of January 6th was a sign of his love for the country.
He instigated trying to overthrow the peaceful, the clear and justly adjudicated election.
So you're just a judgmental person who just assumes that he doesn't love the country. You don't really have any evidence at all. You're just blindly judging. No, you're just blind. There was no evidence that Trump doesn't love the country. January 6th, he showed love for the country.
Well, we're not going to agree on that, James.
Total love. He said we have to have peace, peacefully and lawfully. You have to have peace. He said.
Not what happened now.
Yes, it is what happened. It's exactly what he said. Almost word for word.
No, not what he said. What happened at the Capitol that day.
Right. There was some riotousness. Some of his supporters are rough around the edges people. I get that. But it definitely wasn't an insurrection, and to blame him for it is very unfair and womanly.
Haven't changed a bit.
I haven't, because I'm right about that. It's not manly to call that an insurrection one and to blame him for it too. But go ahead.
Regardless, Jack.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep an eye
So do you think
on
Jerome Powell has love for the country?
I have no love for Jerome Powell. I don't really know him one way or the other. I think Jerome Powell is probably self-serving as well.
Yeah, so the Fed is giving it to the Fed is not a solution either.
Well, I do like the idea, theoretically, of an independent agency, the way the Fed is supposed to be, making the decisions, not the president, in terms of the economy and fiscal and monetary policy.
You're not pleased with the positive changes that Trump has brought in?
I couldn't care less about that. I care about the Fed.
You don't care about like the illegals not getting to run wild in the country. You don't care about the transgenders and the DEI mess going on with that stuff.
I think Trump is doing exactly what he said he would do.
Yeah.
I don't have the feelings about
As
it one way
usual.
or the other. My focus is on the Fed, James.
If your focus is on the Fed, how do you not know much about Jerome Powell?
I don't know about him personally. I know a lot about what his policies are and his thinking in terms of the fiscal and monetary policy. But in terms of his love for the country, I have no idea.
That's interesting. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. But
because you have all this knowledge about Trump and his supposed lack of love for the country.
I can see his actions. That's why I can't see Jerome Powell's actions except for what he does in the Fed.
Makes no sense, Joe, but typical Joe in his head. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Keep an eye on that with Trump, and if he gets that power to control rates, then oh my goodness, things are going to get really interesting. I hope it doesn't happen, but we'll see.
Huh. All right.
But speaking of which, I've been talking about it for a long time, and this is the year I am starting my own podcast. Going to be
don't promote it. Don't promote it.
I'm not. Just topic-wise, I'm going to be focusing mostly on the Fed and a few other items to dismantle the matriarchy in the black community. You may have heard of, can I mention another podcaster who's dead now?
If they're dead, I suppose so, yeah.
You may have heard of the name Kevin Samuels.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be somewhat similar to what he's doing, but with more Fed Facebook focus.
Okay.
And I hope to have Marcus Jones with me. We'll see.
Interesting. Well, I wish you well, Joe. Yeah. Have a nice New Year.
So I won't
People
be
were
calling
concerned.
in here as much. Yeah, I won't be calling in here as much.
Okay. Some people won't miss you. Some people will.
I'm sure. But no, I was just out of the country. That's why I haven't called in the last month or so.
Well, right on. I'm happy you're home safely.
Appreciate that. It was a trying time, but back safe and sound and getting things done. So
cool, man.
I wish you well, James, and I've tried to help you as much as I could over these past few years, but you still want to insist on your racism and your horrible views and the same old thing over and over again. So I will leave you to your own devices and see where that end leads you. And
That's
but I will
kind.
call in from time to time still.
Sounds good, man. Back at you.
All right.
All right.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Back at you with your racism and mess. I'll leave you to your own devices. Had to say that afterwards. He would chuckle. He would chuckle. Because it's true. It's funny because it's true. Don't overreact. Okay. All right, let's play something fun, shall we? Ring. This is good. This, I think, will be pretty fun, guys. Okay, so I saw this on YouTube. I go on YouTube sometimes, right?
I always.
Pardon me. Okay, so this is from somebody on YouTube who was on the Fallen State, actually, New Emerging King. He says, this is a little black kid talking to a young black man who is apparently mentoring him. I don't know if it's his son or I don't think it's his son. I think it's just a young man, young boy in a program started by a young man. So here's the little boy saying, I always try to control my aggression. I don't know how, well, you'll find out how this kid learned that vernacular, that phrase. And what do you think about it?
Try to control my aggression.
As you should. Back in that ball today, boy. See how you turned that aggression on?
Yes, sir.
Daddy just made you mad at the beginning of practice because I wanted you to turn that aggression on, okay?
Yes, sir.
But that's the only reason I made you mad at the beginning of practice. You have to turn on that aggression.
He called himself daddy. Maybe he is his father. I don't know.
You're gonna learn one day how to turn that on and turn that off without nothing having to happen. Like, I can just get mad right now. I can just get angry, and then I can just turn it off.
I understand.
Okay, I got you.
Whoa.
There you go, boy. Go ahead.
T-ball.
Thumbs down.
He's playing T-ball, and then now he's going to criticize himself. Thumbs down because...
Because we hit this a little bit.
It's all right. Good job, boy.
Shout out to Coach Drew. Let the big dog eat.
There you go. As a young man, you're going to learn one day as you're growing up about controlled aggression. Because sometimes we just got to turn it on. Like sometimes we might need to just, and give it our all for a second, even though something hasn't happened. Something shouldn't have to happen to you for you to be able to turn on your aggression, okay?
Yes, sir.
So earlier, when you was throwing the ball, like, I'm gonna turn my aggression on, and you threw the ball, and you threw it accurate, and you threw it straight to my glove.
Yes, sir.
Controlled.
Accurately. Sorry, Lin Yin-chin. Controlled aggression is what he's teaching this boy.
Aggression, okay?
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of boys, they don't know how to control their aggression, so sometimes they hurt people, they go to jail, etc., because they don't know how to control their aggression. But luckily for you, you got me to teach you how to control your aggression. You understand? Good job, boy.
I always
try to control my aggression.
One thing I don't really like about this clip is that the boy's repeating a learned phrase, and it just doesn't come off right when anybody repeats a learned phrase like that. But it's kind of a nice little lesson, I think. Isn't it? Shout out. He's trying to teach either his son or whoever this is. Maybe he adopted him? I don't know. I forget what the situation is. Because he was on the Fallen State. New Emerging King. He was on the Fallen State. I'm blanking on his real name. I think his name might be King or something like that. You know, these blacks. Shout out. But isn't that cute? Isn't that nice? And it's baseball. Well, T-ball. Baseball. Reminds me of what Big Bump talked about. Fatherless black boys don't get into baseball because it's a father-having sport. Only athletes with fathers go into baseball. Or something to that effect. Check out Big Bump. Biggbump. It's good to be able to get aggressive when necessary. And people read that as anger. It's not necessarily anger. Get angry. And then turn it off. Something doesn't... Oh, King Randall channel. Thank you. Nice. Speaking of kids, check this out. Monkey boy, a little white boy, swinging from everything. He must have good calluses. I remember I got blisters and ripped them when I was on the jungle gym? Monkey bars. We call them monkey bars. Somebody says on X, this is what I expect to see when a kid says, watch this. And this guy's going crazy.
Are you good? Yep. 3, 2, 1, let's do it.
He's swinging inside of a indoor thing.
Come on. Good. Slide the face up.
Okay, not that impressive. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, that's sort of impressive. He looks like he's about 8, 10, 7.
Yes, sir.
A tiny 12. No, that's not 12.
What's up? Breathe.
Aggressive breathing. Deep breathing.
What? He's running all around. Sorry, podcast listeners. I should be describing what's happening. He's running around this whole obstacle course, swinging around like Spider-Man or Batman.
Come on.
Whoa, that's cool.
Be aggressive, dude. Let's
There you go. Come on.
And he looks barehanded.
Take a breath.
Nice.
Come on, come on.
He's running, jumping.
Let's
Whoa,
go.
whoa.
Finish this.
Come on.
This is like parkour type
Big
stuff.
deep for it. Let's go, bud. Come on, turn and go.
Swinging on rings and ropes and...
Nice, dude. Right here. Finish it. Let's go.
Wow, impressive little young man.
Let's go, dude.
And his shirt's not too tight like some of us adults. And he collapses on the ground and takes a breath.
That was good.
His father or coach or somebody, whoever recorded him, whatever, or didn't record him, with the tattoos on his arm. Pretty cool, huh?
Let's do it.
They say you don't want to put all this pressure on kids, and sometimes kids perform well, but like it's not something that they're into. This boy is having fun, though, I think. I don't know. Who knows? But right on. And monkeys are cool.
Yes, sir.
It's not racial,
Start building.
necessarily.
Come on, buddy.
Oh, wow. He went on a teeter-totter thing. Isn't that cool? Right on, little man. With child power comes child responsibility, Hake. What's up with all the videos of kids playing today, Hake? I just wanted to show some, exciting clips that I came across. Look at this little boy. Tell him to keep breathing. I guess it's important, right? Sweet. Sweet. Shout out to the kids who don't have this much skill. But I'm most impressed by that his hands can handle that without getting like that pain, calluses and mess. Yes, I did play on the monkey bars. No, I'm not having a kid. Anyway, let's see here. Before I get into these evil men and women fighting mess, I'd like to get to a call or two here. Justin in California, and then I will get to your popcorn super chat and the rest. Justin in California. Is it Justin in Fullerton?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
Doing fine, thank you.
Awesome. I am too. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think, there's a lot of bleeding hearts out there. That's what they used to call the liberals.
Yeah.
But, Selena Gomez, crying that people are being deported. I mean, that's identity crisis. Like,
that's a singer woman, right?
American. What's that?
Selena Gomez is a singer woman, right?
Yeah, but she claims that she's like a Mexican singer, or she claims she's an American singer, whatever's convenient.
Yeah.
She identifies as, and then sometimes like, Mexican American. So I think we have a lot of that issue, and so there's a lot of tears and all that kind. And it made me think, well, what if some of these people that are to be deported are actual, actual supporters of Hamas or Hezbollah or Iran or terrorist organizations like, et cetera, et cetera. So
on
what
top
I'm
of
saying
it, it's just it's wrong. Period. That they're here. I don't care if they're Mother Teresa. In fact, I prefer they not be in Mother Teresa.
Well, yeah, I would say if you're like Mother Teresa and you're illegal, you're the last one to leave. The first one is the pedos, the criminals, and the ones that support terrorist organizations. You need to go first.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm for all of them going, but yeah, since you do have to prioritize, we have so many.
Yes.
We should prioritize. Well, we should prioritize the ones that we know about, whether they're nice or not.
Yeah.
And
it's easier to do it because they've already been known before. It's why they're able to go to them right away. Like within 4 days, there's been so much deportation.
Yeah.
It means they already knew on record. And all of the governors or city mayors who resist and don't support, cooperating with the federal government, then there should be aid that's restricted to those governments in the future. They can handle their own problems.
I agree. It's a mess that the federal government even gives so much aid. I feel like the local governments should be able to take care of themselves, and maybe that's partly the fault of the economy, the people who have destroyed over the generations the economy, the value of our money and all that stuff. Because there's a lot of poor communities, I hear, that really need federal aid or state aid or really rely on that stuff, and they just can't take care of themselves, it doesn't sound right, and it's a shame. I don't like it. But I don't like that the federal government can withhold money from you to control you, although I'm for Trump doing it because he's doing it for something good.
Right, but then there's a surplus in California, and when it hit home, even the millionaires or whatever, billionaires couldn't protect their own homes from a fire that just got out of hand, and there was no way to curtail it with having plentiful amounts of water, resources, and planning. So I personally think that it is going to get rebuilt, and it's going to become more of like the smart city, something you could research if you don't already know about. But there's going to be the Olympics coming. There's going to be the World Cup coming, and a lot of attention here. So they're going to rebuild, and they're going to create a lot of these smart cities that further will control people.
Yeah.
So it's not so much the rich or the poor. What I'm trying to say is the resources are withheld intentionally.
Yeah.
So if they're doing that this way here locally, federally, if you have anybody in your city or your safe city or your township that supports terrorists, those are the first on the till to go. They're the first ones to go.
Yeah.
With the pedos, with the criminals, the violent people, and the Mother Teresas. They're the last ones. Well, they're the last ones, but they're also on the list.
Yeah.
If you came here illegally and you don't show the world that you mean what you say, then they're not really going to respect it. So
yeah, that's true. I really love all this hype about what Trump is doing, this fear and all that mess. So I like because it makes me think that there might be something good happening on Trump's part, So
it just it just reinforces the fact that God listens to us, and this is what I voted for.
Nice. Yeah, it really is. He is the man for the job. He clearly is showing a lot of love for the country and doing right for the country. And it's refreshing, truly. And it's good for everybody. It's good for the illegals that they get what they deserve. It's good for the transgenders in the military who are going to be having to contend with themselves a little bit, or given an opportunity to contend with themselves rather than coddled in their doing wrong or in their feeling wrong about themselves.
It's right. They should start in the military, but they should also go to the prisons. There's no surgery for you there.
Right.
They should go for illegal immigrants who are caught. There's no surgery allowed for you there. These are not things that our people want to pay for.
Yeah, definitely. That's right. And it's
There-
good for
there are
them. Hopefully,
people-
some of them will check themselves. I bet you that there's going to be some transgenders who come to the Lord thanks to
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah, inadvertently.
Yeah.
But if God's will is done, so be it. Let it be so.
Yeah. Sweet, man. That's cool. So what were you saying? You about the California fires, it's our fault, or meaning California management's fault that the fires went so out of control. Is that do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, 100%. Also, the fact that they've had foreknowledge that they're building a house surrounding an area that's a forest. You shouldn't do that. You should have a defensible border
Yep.
created, meaning between the two, where debris is going to sometime get incinerated, and what do you call it? Like small particles are going to fly in the air or whatever.
Yeah.
So you need that, whatever, 5 mile or 5 feet. I don't know what the they should know this. They should know when they build, and because they build like that, and then of course there's no one going to insure anyone.
Yeah. True.
And who's going to want to buy a house? So unless, of course, I'm wrong, but I think that from my limited research, they're going to create smart cities out of this. They did it to Malibu. I mean, not Malibu. They did it to Maui.
Oh yeah, Lahaina.
Maui in Hawaii. Lahaina. They did in L.A. So
Did they?
they rebuild it, and they rebuild it in smart cities.
Build back
And
better in ways that they
Yeah.
force the Section
Build
8
back
people.
better.
They stuff us in there like sardines, and it's planned. These planned cities from evil people. No independence, no independence allowed.
How does everybody like having to travel and pay tax just to travel if you go over a certain amount of miles? You're allotted in L.A.
Wow.
It's in New York already after the new year. Section 8, yes, Section 8's going to be gone. People that need it the most, whatever, because it's been given too much to people that didn't need it.
Wow.
So now there has to be an efficiency thing happening, and a lot of people are going to be in the streets. So I think there's going to be room for them now that the shelters are being cleared out of illegal immigrants. But still, there's going to be a lot of restructuring, not so much building back better, but some type of thing that.
I'm using that phrase because that's what the global homos used. It was what the UN and Biden both used. So it's not actually better. It's built back in their image, which is evil.
Yeah, there's a plan the United Nations created for 2030. So there's a planning. We have master
It was
planners.
called Agenda 21 at one point, right?
Yes. They have these different agendas where people are supposed to live with less and austerity measures, I think is what they call it. Like in North Korea, they'll allot how much toilet paper you can have.
Austerity for thee, which means tightening your belt. Austerity for thee and not for me.
Correct. Yeah. So like a lot of these governors and millionaires are going to still have very, very well-to-do lives, and the rest are not.
Globalist socialism.
System. Yeah, we need to return to nationalism. Each country should be able to, if they apply for things like purchase a house or rent an apartment. But internationally, I'm saying, because rich people can do it, so anybody should be able to. If you want to leave the country, leave.
Yeah.
There should be ways to let people migrate legally out of here, and the ones that want to come here, just reverse the line around and say you guys can come in. But those who don't follow the process, you should be banned. You shouldn't be allowed to come ever to this country because you've already circumvented authority and respect, our culture. I mean, what makes us think you're going to follow our tax system, our way of living? So it's a shame, but that's what people think America is about exploiting us for them to have a better life. That's not it. That's not it.
I appreciate it, Justin. It's good to hear from you, man.
Good to hear from you. All right, well, Happy New Year. Talk to you later.
All right, take care. Popcorns Thump Keg. Popcorns Thump Keg. Over here on buymeacoffee.com. And I did see another coffee came in with a tip. I saw that, sir. Thank you, sir, to the sir who did that. It's ma'am. Or sir or ma'am. Popcorn's Thump Keg. The world is going on here. This was from Friday. It's terrible. And it's Tuesday now. To your point about Trump being smarter. We were talking about tariffs, Trump's tariffs, and you're talking about we collected so much money from China. Some of these companies are Chinese companies, by the way, that import, or Chinese people. I know many Chinese people who work in the importing industry. They import Chinese cabinets and Chinese this and that. Around the world is going on over here. Sorry about that. Okay. And so it's not really necessarily Americans who are paying more. Oh, yeah, you pay more for cheap Chinese crap. Sorry, kids. Ladies, parents, guardians. I'm probably wrong. Okay. To your point about Trump being smarter with knowing the benefits of tariffs and how they work, you're probably right. I don't pretend to be really smart. So claims Popcorn's Thump Cake. But there are some basic observations I can make about economics and the impact that certain moves tend to have. Like I said, when minimum wage and fast food went up, people knew what would happen to prices. I'm glad you agree with me on minimum wage making prices go up. I don't know if you agree with me about abolishing minimum wage, but that would be super cool if you agreed with me on that. One thing I will say, says Popcorn, he has made a lot of promises, and I, for one, am looking forward to my drastically reduced energy bills and lower prices at grocery stores. You're tempting me to say, whoa, slow down. We don't know that will affect you. For some reason, I picture Popcorn as being in California. I don't even know where I get this idea. It might be a correct idea, and I have no idea. Or I have ideas, but they may be totally wrong. But nice. Well, I hope that works out for you, man. And either way, save your money. Save your money. Hopefully it'll be worth something when it comes time to spend. The good thing is we don't have to speculate on whether he's going to do it first or second term because this is it. Lastly, why are you in favor of January 6ers who were violent towards police being pardoned? I like this question, Popcorn. Can you defend your position without mentioning other groups or incidents? I might be able to. Do you think it's invalid to mention other groups and incidents? Is it invalid to mention the double standard? Is it invalid? In the context of the anti-white attacks on whites, on conservatives, on Trump supporters, in light of that, which is an incident that caused them to be in such trouble in the first place, tracked down with such amount of money and energy and time and manpower by the government and by meddling people who want to report their father who's maybe acting crazy. Maybe he was acting crazy. The son who turned his father in and now he's scared or something like that, I heard. Horror stories, right? Because fathers are a mess. Even people who are sensible in supporting Trump, they could be senseless in how they raise their family, and now their children hate them. And also the mothers are evil and turned them from their fathers, and this is a dumb, evil son going on Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, and talking about his dad like that, like a dog. Oh, he's crazy. He scares me. Terrible. So, yes, I am in favor. I love that Trump did it. Because it has been 4 years. Many of them have been rotting in jail 4 years. That's time served. On one level, they did deserve to get the smackdown on them for stepping out of line, especially knowing that conservatives and Trump supporters and whites, and some of these are not whites. There was a guy who maced a cop, and he was like a Hispanic guy, Trump supporter. And a lot of these guys are former felons. They're rough around the edges people. They're passionate, young and old, middle-aged men. There was one middle-aged guy, I think, or guy, who threw a fire extinguisher at a cop. They falsely said that was Officer Sicknick who got the fire extinguisher hit on to the head. But that wasn't the case, I don't think, after all. It was fake news or misreporting from New York Times. Those cops did okay after they got hit with a fire extinguisher. That's why men should be cops. Shout out. And that's wrong. But I'm for a pardon or some clemency, of course, for even the violent ones, because they weren't that violent towards police. None of the policemen's lives were in danger. There was no attempted murders, to my knowledge. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was no attempted murder. It was moshing. You know, you go into a mosh pit. Not you, but some people go into a mosh pit and swing at each other, get their aggression, somewhat controlled aggression. A mosh pit is a community, I'm told. And somebody falls down, everybody protects them. And then they go back to hitting each other hard. It might be something else, I forget. But it's in the music industry. You know how people who are all into music, so lost, emotional. That's what they were doing with the cops. They were getting all aggressive and angry and wanted their country back, wanted to hold on to what they felt was a election. It was nothing like Black Lives Matter, Antifa. Okay, so I'm saying it with, I can't defend my position without mentioning other groups or incidents. So no, my answer is no, I cannot defend my position without mentioning them. Popcorn. But anyway, one is they're getting unjust and an improper extra attention on them simply because they're enemies of the state being the enemies of the people. They are the people of the country, the enemies of which are the ones running the state against the people. That's why they did the coup on Trump. They did a coup on Trump, in my opinion. But we stay orderly. We have to have peace. You follow the law. You accept the results of the election, though you may disagree with them. But I disavow disagreeing with them for the sake of the channel, you know? Yeah, so there are times when people should be shown mercy. And this was one of those times. I love that Trump did that. I remember there was a guy at a Trump rally in 2016, an old timer. And there was this black guy who was flipping off he was like a Black Lives Matter type of a person disrupting, flipping off the whole thing. He was being escorted out. And this old timer just took a swing at him. And Trump had said stuff like, don't you just wish you could just knock him out? And it was because these people are passionate. They love their country with a fallen state love granted, but they deserve, sometimes you give mercy to people, and that's love, rather than coming down all hard with mama coming down hard on them. The father knows when to be harsh with the punishment and when to be easy with the punishment. Sometimes it's time to be easy because it was ridiculous. Equal justice under the law, you know? And it sounds like I'm not saying the opposite of equal justice under the law, doesn't it? But it's not. I'm going a bit long on this. Dylan Roof. The whole reason they want to give him the death penalty is not because of the murder, but because of the hate crime aspect of it. Loretta Lynch, the Obama Attorney General, called it, it was a hate crime, so we need to get the death penalty. So sick, huh? So sick. So no, he did it because he was angry because they were lying about white racism against blacks when it's the other way around, and anti-white mainstream media and government policies. So you don't, there is this obvious and clear unjust persecution of the whites, the men, the Christians, the Trump supporters, independent thinkers, anybody who doesn't go along with the state, the mainstream media mess. And Trump is reversing that. He is removing that, and that is a gesture of goodwill and unity. You know, after the Civil War, so-called Civil War, most of those people, they said, these are not traitors. They are your brothers. You don't gloat. You don't call them losers. You don't call them traitors to the country. You bring unity. Whatever you believe about the rightness or wrongness of the so-called Civil War and who won and who lost, or they both lost, really, I agree with the position of these are your brothers. Let's be united. Let them fly their Confederate rebel flag. So that's why you would pardon even the so-called violent toward police January 6ers. Because there's a time for even the state to forgive. Right on, Trump. And, you know, I love how shameless the liberals are, and I love how shameless Trump is for what's right. The liberals are shameless for what's evil. Trump is shameless for what's wrong. He's like, you guys tried to kill me, and you guys have been trying to destroy the country. Oh, no. So Not a Victim bought me a coffee with this YouTube tip, and I shall check that out. Hake, watch this on your show? How about I watch it before my show or after my show, and then maybe watch it on my show? I think I might. I shall consider your requests. Not a Victim. Thank you, man. Let me double check over on these other places. In case of other things. WT1 Hake, I for one won't miss the snake, just your right hand. Oh, I forgot of my puppet, my snake puppet. I'm back from out of the country, Hake. I will leave you to your racism, Hake. Thank you, WT1 with a rumble rant. I will miss your hand puppet of the snake. Maybe I'll use it for Terry or somebody, some other caller. Thank you, WT1. Appreciate that. Shout out to Mobetta yesterday. Gave a diamond, I think. Said, great show as always, Hake. That's kind. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, man. Let me check over on Facebook. It looks up like I'm all clear. What's up, T-Flying Monkey and the rest? Age of Inversion. Pretty sure the cops instigated any violence that happened. Oh, I mean, there was a whole lot of mess that was happening in J6 stuff. That's a fair point. Either cops or those directing the cops, you know. Mess going on in the world. Okay. By the way, let me check to see if Joel Friday TV is scheduled. Some of you guys say scheduled, you foreigners. Is he set? I don't see it yet, but that's okay. Hopefully I'll remember to get him. All right. Here's a warning. This woman is cussing on X in writing. The young people, this gal saying, I'm way out of your league, to this person called Beardson. Shout out to Stu Doggy Dog. Both are mildly attractive, am I right, Hake? The Hake report, frog emoji. I disavow the frog. I'm like, yeah, they look like siblings from a nice family. I'm looking at a picture of this young lady, not that young though, who's sitting on her carpeted floor in a pink painted bedroom looking thing, I guess, with a box of records, her arm on a box of records, looking mildly attractive, with a bow, looking like she's trying to be all girly. And then this young man with his smile and beard and wild hair, don't they look like they could be siblings? And typically siblings, a sister looks all a little bit more like put together, at least on the outside. And the brother looks a little bit more messy and out of it, because families, so-called families nowadays, and society and culture, have the women being all proper and kissed up to, and they just seem better off, and the boys are destroyed. So that's a little destroyed boy, but he's a young man now, and he's coming back to the father, and this girl has become an evil mama, and I'll prove it to you. Cover your eyes, kids. Oh, this woman calls herself Alexa, I guess, on X. Blue check. Teddy bear. Mirror emoji. If you need to be booping serious, LM blank. Oh, I'm way out of your league, she states, purportedly. Don't harass her, kids, or non-kids. She states this to a guy named Beardson. I recognize the name Beardson. Beardson says, oh yeah, hold on. Let me go back. They're having like a little disagreement. Beardson says women are supposed to be pretty, last time I checked. And this gal, I think, she says, last time I checked, comedians were supposed to be funny. Because Beardson, I guess, is a comedian. He's Christian. This whole thing started because Beardson posted, this person, young man, says, things women have ruined: the internet, video games, anime, the government, our demographics, polite society, food, comedy, movies, education, and men. And I liked that post. I'll even retweet it. Yeah, because the women have ruined the internet. All this censorship is women. Is woman-oriented thinking, like Joe from Phoenix. Shout out. Video games, yeah. Remember how the video games, the women are all meddling in the video games, and the video games are on many sides, and the so-called males. Anchor Baby has talked about this. Anime, yeah. The government, yeah. Oh, big time. They messed up the government. Our demographics, totally. Polite society, interesting. Yeah. Food, I don't understand that one. Maybe. Yeah, sort of. Comedy, oh yeah. Movies, yeah. Education, big time. Men, yeah. I guess that's 100% true, Beardson, in many ways. And so people are hating on him for that. He said something true, and this woman said, I thought comedians are supposed to be funny. And this guy said, I thought women are supposed to be pretty. And suggesting that this gal's not pretty. Come on, she's sort of mildly attractive. And so is he. Like I said, they look like they could be siblings. But she thinks, she's trying to claim like she's way out of his league. Don't they look like they could be husband and wife, too? They could totally be a married couple or siblings. And they're fighting like siblings, sort of. So shout out to Beardson and shout out to this gal who cusses on the internet. Palestine flag emoji. Is that Palestine? I disavow this word hetero. Because we shouldn't have to have that word. It's kind of like using the word cis on yourself. Just say normal. Just call yourself normal. But I know that normal is too broad of a word. Hetero is more specific, but you've fallen into Anyway, I like to fight about the language thing. So women, I don't know if she's overestimating herself consciously or blindly, but it's really ridiculous how that woman was talking there. And she's hating men. Making herself even less pretty. What a mess. And speaking of pretty, check this out. Follow Punchy TV on X and YouTube and wherever. Oh, I accidentally voted already. Okay, so whatever posted this, a competitor, sorry. Makeup is lying. And it has a picture of a gal. And this picture of the same gal, I guess this is not photoshopped. It might be, I don't know. Wearing like a mask, but it's not a mask. It's too much makeup. And it's yellowish, orangish makeup. And he's saying makeup is lying. And it's a gal who's like, has freckles. I think those are freckles. And, sort of a splotchy face. And she has like just a normal, mildly attractive, maybe Latina or Italian gal. Greek, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. And then she does this, and her hair is sort of frizzy, by the way. And I like a frizzy-haired woman. And then her hair is all straight and done and has this put-on face that just looks like Joelle Friday covered. You look like a horror clown. You know that clown from Saw? I only saw Saw 5, okay? I know, random. Like the face doesn't even match the neck. It's like what people say about Trump. At least the face matches the neck. And she looks like a chola. Shout out. And they're both mildly attractive, but also mildly repulsive. But this one looks like it's trying to increase the attractiveness, but it's also increasing the repulsiveness. Because when I say mildly attractive, I leave room for the fact that you also may be a little bit repulsive. And I think that may apply to both. I think the non-makeup, without makeup face is better. Somebody said equally pretty or ugly without 50%. So go vote on this. I'll hit the like. But she actually just looks kind of nice without the makeup. Or that might be a little bit of makeup, actually. But this is too much. And it's fake and it looks garish. And you know that there's something under there that's not right or real. Or something on there that's covering up the real thing underneath there. So, whatever, thank you. Scary, huh? What a mess. I say she looks better without makeup. Curious what Joelle Friday think. How about with makeup, but just not as much makeup? Hake, talking to himself. Scary, huh? What a mess. It is lying. Well, this is an extreme example, man. I think a little makeup is okay, right? It is fine. This is just ridiculous, though. They do the thing to where it makes the nose look narrower with the shading and stuff. Terrible. Whew. Okay, let me close out that picture because that's just a scary picture. I think I caught up on the super chats. Very nice. Oh, speaking of super chats, though, popcorn. Jerry Garcia of, I forget what he's from, said rap is not music. This is a tip from Big Bump.
One thing, I mean, it isn't music, it's talking. That's what it says, rap. Rap means talking, it's not music.
Rap means talking, it's not music.
It's talking in meter. It's got rhyme, and it's got.
Talking in meter. It has rhyme.
It has meter. It has rhythm.
Pardon the. Well, I don't mind copyright, right?
It's not music. It just isn't music, you know. And people who get to be great.
The music is too loud, dude. Your music is drowning out this man's voice.
Rap are not great musicians. They're just great at rap.
People who are good at rap are not usually great musicians. They're just good at rap. Unless you're a producer, like a Hassan.
Well, rap is not music, for one thing.
So he says rap is not music. Boom! Who's Jerry Garcia? I forget who that is. Does it say? He's from that one group, right? Jerry Garcia. Some Mexican guy. American musician. There you have it. Wait, what? Oh, died in 1995. Whoa! He's dead. Rest in peace. Grateful Dead. Oh, okay. Well, I hope he's grateful still. Gone too soon. Influenced by Woody Guthrie. Not a Christian. And Bill Monroe. Well, right on, Jerry Garcia. I still think it's music. You know, I still think it's music. But, nice. Terrible. It's music. Speaking of it's music, let's read what Krassenstein, former JLP guest, I think one of those brothers was on the JLP show years back, says there is no good reason for Trump's transgender military ban. Maybe I'll spare you from the pictures or the picture. Other than bigotry and hate, he claims. Okay, Joe from Phoenix. Which Joe from Phoenix would agree with. I don't know. He doesn't agree with the LGBT agenda. But he's reading in bigotry and hate. Typical unchristian person. Why shouldn't transgender people be allowed to fight for our country? First of all, most of the time they're fighting, it's not for our country. But anyway, if these people want to fight for America, they shouldn't be told they can't. And he lists off this bunch of supposed transgender heroes. This person who was a Navy SEAL, very famous, Christopher Beck, turned himself into Kristen. But that was before he turned transgender. So, see, after retiring, so-called she came out as transgender and has been an advocate. I forget if that person regretted it later and whatever. But that doesn't even count because he was in the closet and nobody had any clue, I think. Could be wrong. And I don't know, maybe it's overblown how good he was. This other person, highest ranking openly so-called transgender veteran, supposedly served for over 34 years, which means that it was before that this person was a regular dude. I'm betting. Becoming the director of because 34 years is no way you're going to openly, quote unquote, serve as openly transgender. Because 34 years ago, that was not kosher. After transitioning, this person became a prominent advocate. So they became activists. That means that they're not good people. They're not heroes. This person, Ortega, 3 combat tours, recognized first openly transgender service members in the U.S. military, probably thanks to Obama. Advocating for the so-called rights. Activists, not welcome. That's not what your role is in the military. You're supposed to be a lemming in the military. No individuality allowed. If you want to keep your individuality to yourself, within yourself. And you're not being an individual, being a transgender. You're being a sucker falling for the thoughts. You are a lemming for Satan. That's not serving your country. Colonel something Fram, active duty astronautical engineer on Space Force. Yeah, see, some of them are smart, they're pushing it. I remember when the good kids started taking drugs, because they've been pushing drugs so much. Now supposedly functional people are turning into the LGBT stuff. Maybe that's been happening a while because it's different issues, right? This person served since 2003, Iraq war. What good did that do? Leading advocate for transgender agenda, editing a book with honor and integrity, transgender troops in their own words. See, isn't that horrific? Ah, Lord, said Hake. I want to spare you the picture because the picture is, I don't know, can you look at the picture and see that these people are just lost people and not judge or be repulsed? You don't have to call them mildly attractive. Just, it is, although it is objectively, I think it's objectively repulsive, but they're lost. They're a mess. And they're trying to misled and misleading the blind, misguided people. But it's not, okay, bigotry means you can't handle disagreement, which is the liberals, which is the transgenders, the agenda transgenders anyways, the ones with the agenda, the radicals. So that's you. Hate, that's what motivates them into that mess. So that's you, Krassenstein. That's you're projecting your bigotry and hate on Trump's military ban. Because Trump is so nice to everybody. He's like Bruce Jenner or Jenner, whatever that person's name he wants to call himself. I'm not going to use that term, that name. Jenner can go into my, the women's bathroom in Trump Tower, Trump said. So you make no sense, Krassenstein. You got to be mentally fit and physically fit. They're confused. Broken sexuals or broken identities are all confused. Well, thank you, Krassenstein. What a mess. Here's a nice little throwback. And then I will get to your calls. Hang tight, callers. Trump versus a gal in 2016. Here's another activist young lady who's being silly. It's ridiculous. This is from a while back, but it went viral again, sort of. Trump versus supposedly woke girl.
I want to get paid the same as a man, and I think you understand that. So, if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man, and do I get to choose what I do with my body?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job.
That's right. Do as good a job. Ms. Know-It-All, thinking a bit highly of yourself. These purportedly white young ladies, like the woman who is not out of Beardson's league, and this gal, do I get to decide what to do with my body? And she does a little head tilt, Ms. Know-It-All conceited face. They're calling it 2024 USA, but this is from way back in 2016. You'll get the same pay if you do as good a job, which you don't. You do not. In your face. Dominated that college student know-it-all gal. Get out of college. Right on, Trump. Sweet. Okay. This stuff is so cool. What a mess. Let me get to Robert in Kansas, who's on the line over here. Robert, thank you for calling. What's up?
Well, hello, Hake. I can tell how you really don't want to get to my call. Like you're like, Like,
Don't listen to your thoughts.
I've heard it enough times now where it's like you're like, oh, well, I guess I'll go to the calls. Like, okay, man, like, it's just funny.
No, I was gasping because for more than a week I've been wanting to do squid versus octopus, the differences.
Oh,
yeah. So it has nothing to do with you.
Well, hey, maybe you can help me, man, because I was trying to call in to talk about these transgenders, but I didn't know if you could help me understand, like, you know how you could be like gay, a homosexual, but there's still like a degree of honesty, right? Like if you're openly gay, right, then you're not saying you're not gay, you're saying you're gay, and then you are, you're being honest about it, right? Where
I guess
with these transgenders, like what I don't understand is like it is an intentional deception.
Oh.
That is then being like supported.
In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. But neither of them are honest, really, because they're listening to the father of lies. Because they're not gay. They're like Joel says, they're believing a lie. That's not what they are. It's not who they are, But I get what your point is that they're trying to fool people. They're trying to insist that they're trying to hide the fact that they're even transgender sometimes and just call me she. Part of that, part of that is because people are so into people's business that they're going to try to dig up your dead name, your so-called dead name, and people are vicious. The anti-transgender people are vicious. That's why, partly, I think.
But like, hey, like when you it's not like I've never told a lie in my life or anything, but
yeah.
If you are deceiving somebody, when you're trying to lie, like if I was pretending to be a woman, right? Like I'm literally lying, right? Like I'm acting like I'm dressing or making myself look that way, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like, don't you feel like something inside of you? Like, don't you feel like a thing where like you're lying, and then does that not make you? I mean, I just don't know. I guess I don't know how other people
that may
feel
be
about
why
it.
that may be why they're so they're among the angriest and most violent people. They're disproportionately Antifa per capita, and Antifa is very violent, very angry, very over. You know how people are over defensive when they lie, or even when they lie to themselves or lie to other people, and they're confronted with the truth about themselves on some level. They overreact. That's probably they don't have peace at all.
Well, and also too, hey, would you say that it is mostly men? Would you say it's mostly men who are trying to act like the opposite gender? I mean, I've seen women do it too. I've seen women.
It is.
But I would say it for me personally. What I've seen in real life is that it's mostly men.
Yep.
And so it's that thing where they are pretending to be a woman in public, and you're just, for me anyway, I mean, I'll hang up, Hake, but it's like a thing where I'm like, don't you feel like if I was just lying, like if I go and tell a lie to, my neighbor or, my friend or whatever, like, I mean, I feel bad about like a little white lie that I know I didn't tell them the absolute truth. Can you imagine the chutzpah, Hake? I know you're Jewish, right? The chutzpah, the balls you would have to have.
I'm not Jewish.
Well, to pretend like you're I'm just playing it. To pretend like you're a different gender. I mean, you got to have an arrogance about you, an ego that is just off the chart, man. Like, you're just lying. That's crazy, man. Okay.
Well, if you keep on watching yourself, and you might see the depths of your own lies to yourself, or lies that you've swallowed, that they'll become real obvious and shocking. And then you'll realize that you're not really different from the transgenders.
Well, I'm not pretending to be a woman. That's for sure.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm different. I'm different in that respect. But yeah, it's fascinating to me. And then you look back in history, and it goes all the way back, and it's just always been around. And yeah, apparently that's just like to me, it's like a psychopathy. It's like a psychological, disorder. You know, but for me to say that, then you're called, and they say, oh, well, you just hate these people. And it's like, I don't hate anybody.
Nice.
If you're a biological male and you're pretending to be a woman, you obviously are an insane person. Okay? Like, that's, I don't know if you can get crazier than that. I remember wanting to be like a dinosaur when I was a little kid. Now, if I would have kept that up into my 40s, and I'm like, I'm a velociraptor, hey, you'd be like, you're a crazy person, Robert. You know? And so it's just, that's the thing, is it's like, how does that happen? Like, I mean, yeah, I guess it would be. Like, I'm a ugly old man, right? And I imagine it would be wonderful to be a pretty young woman. But I in no way would walk around lying to everyone around me, trying to pretend like I'm something I'm not. It makes no sense to me. I respect the gays, the open gays, in that fact that they are open and they say, yes, I'm gay. Then there's no guessing. I don't have to guess if you're gay. You're gay, good. We can get along. But if you're like, if you're hiding that you're gay, or if you're pretending to be, I mean, you're lying, right? It's the deception that bothers me. It's not that you're a pervert. I'm a pervert too. I get it. So yeah, good. You're a pervert too, but you're being honest about it. You're trying to pretend to be a different gender. I can't handle the deception part.
Okay.
I don't care if you're a pervert. But
I don't agree with this hang up, Robert. I don't agree with this hang about honesty. I don't agree with you that stuff is honesty. About all that stuff. Because you shouldn't. I think you've swallowed a bit of the '60s about let it all hang out, and I know you don't agree about letting it all hang out.
No, I'm just saying the degree of honesty. Like if you say yes, like you're like RuPaul or something. Like in a way, like there's an honesty to it. Like you're just openly.
Oh, I understand. Okay, I accept your point.
No, listen, hey, there's men out here actually trying to look like women, and they actually trying to fool you.
Right, and that's when they get violence on them sometimes because people overreact to that. And also the lesbians and transgenders, there's a lot of violence out of them amongst one another. So-called DV, domestic violence, and all that. Anyway, Robert, interesting, man. Thank you for the call.
All right. Interesting, Hake. Thanks for the call. Have a good day, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Rick in Hampton, VA. Rick, we just have a couple of minutes. What's up? How you doing?
What's going on, Brother James, man? Happy Tuesday to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tuesday, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, man. So, you know what? What I find a hard time, man, all the executive orders Trump has signed has been good, morally common sense laws.
True.
Just like transgenders competing with sports with, and all you hear all your black females talk about, see, I told you about voting for Trump. I even like the child support idea that he came up with.
What's that?
Men pay child support. Well, it was rumored that President Trump signed an executive order saying that if men pay child support, they should get the tax break because the woman gets it, so she gets the money and she get the tax write-off.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I like that one.
Huh?
Yes.
I don't understand that. I'll have to. I wonder if I'll hear about that from CNN.
Oh, man, you know they're gonna hear about it because in order to keep the black women in a group, they got to make sure they put them fear among them. And talk about Trump's trying to take their money.
Right.
Man, one more question. Did you hear about, I was hearing on TikTok that President Trump stopped the teaching of something like of the Tuskegee Airmen in the Air Force? Because, they were, I think one of the first black pilots or something, Tuskegee Airmen. I'm sorry,
right.
Yeah.
I could believe that the Tuskegee Airmen excessive hype, because it might be excessive hype because of affirmative action spirit, the spirit of affirmative action. They probably got rid of some of the extra DEI stuff. So Tuskegee Airmen might be less promoted, less prominent. Because one of the only reasons that the Tuskegee Airmen are prominent is because they're black. And everybody's like, oh, they're black. It's not like as though they're all that much more remarkable than some of the other airmen who are less celebrated, perhaps. So it might have to do with the getting rid of the DEI mess.
So when that, are you talking about as far as hiring people or stuff like that? Or
no, not just hiring, but education, because there's some education that goes on in there, right? Don't they have like different things that they promote?
Right.
So I think it has to do with that.
Right. Yeah, they were saying in the Air Force that Trump stopped all that.
Well, that's good. That sounds like a positive thing, because Trump is very nice in acknowledging to the blacks. There's no reason to overreact to anything like that.
Right. I mean, he probably just saying, Trump probably say, talk about all the pilots, you know?
Exactly. That's
instead
right.
of a particular one, you know? So I know whenever you hear someone on TikTok, you got to definitely go do the extra research, because usually they're emotional people, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's propaganda.
I don't see it. It's like liberals have a whole bunch of people that have been traumatized and has not got the trauma dealt with. You know what I'm saying, James?
Yeah, definitely. Rick, I got to wrap it up. I have to get ready for Joel Friday.
James, thanks for taking my call. Love you guys. Be blessed. Tune in tomorrow.
Sounds good, man. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Bye. Guys, this has been the Hake Report. I got to wrap it up. And tomorrow is Wednesday. It's Work Hard Wednesday, but it's also Chinese New Year, which means I probably will want to be playing a Chinese song. So it's Work Hard Wednesday on a Tuesday. Starflyer 59. Hey! Are you listening? Smoker voice.
For the longest time,
Young in My Head album.
I didn't see your name. Did you disappear away from here? I still don't know what you were searching for. Hey, are you listening? Are you near or far? Now I just don't know who you are, and I don't care anymore.
Are children the new target?
Hey,
Joel.
are you listening? Are you near or far? Now I just don't know who you are, and I don't care anymore.
This track is awesome, eh? Very satanic. I'm very disappointed.
Are you listening? Are you near or far? Now I just don't know who you are, and I don't care anymore.
It's Christian. All right, guys, take care.